Hello everyone! So today I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make a little guide video because I know there's a lot of people who want to try my girl Annie, aka Toy Merchant. So I was like, yeah, why not just make a little guide about some good catapult locations and how I recommend playing her. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, before I even start the video, I would want to tell y'all on which maps I recommend playing her. There's some maps I will not say it's that viable to play her, but there are some maps that are like really strong for her. A map I would totally not recommend you play her on is White Sand Street Asylum and also Arms Factory. You can play her on Arms Factory, but I just don't think you get the most value if you play Toy Merchant on Arms Factory. All the rest of the maps, like Sacred Heart, Red Church, Lakeside, Moon River, even Leo's, Eversleeve, like all the rest of the maps are very viable for her. So let's get into some good catapult locations. Okay, so the first catapult spot is some that a lot of people know, but I would like to start simple, just so people can get the hang of it. It is this one. I don't know if this positioning is correct, but it's like right across from this like green barrel, I think. Let's see if it works though, because I don't know if I placed it correctly. Yes, it does. Okay, so that is a really strong catapult spot to start off with. For example, if you spawn in this area, I recommend already placing this one immediately, because this is a really strong one. It gives the survivor that's getting chased the opportunity to go directly towards hospital, and hospital is a really good kiting area against a lot of hunters. And this is also very loopable. Like for example, you can do this, and this is also a catapult that is viable for both Toy Merchant and other survivors, and you could just keep looping this, because the hunter will probably go to in the hospital via birdhouse. That's this cage thing over here. This is called birdhouse if you didn't know. Ignore the crows. So yeah, this is the first one I have. Let's get to the other one. Okay, the next one I have isn't that viable on this map, but it could work if you need it, for example. And it's right next to this wall, a bit more in front of it, as you can see. And what it does is this. Let me show you. It brings you also back into hospital. That is the most important thing for a Toy Merchant on this map, is mostly bringing you into hospital with her catapults. It's a really strong thing you can do. For the rest, let me also explain some things you can do with Toy Merchant on this map. I recommend, if you get chased, you go to middle, try to get to middle immediately, because you can do stuff like this. You can start flying, and you could just re-loop it again, or you could be like, oh, my catapult is here. Let me drop, and let me go back into the hospital, because he doesn't know that the catapult is there. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with a Toy Merchant on this map, so she's a very viable pick here. The next one I have is over here. It's a little bit harder to get, as you can see, because like you see the circle at the bottom. That's also a good thing to know for Toy Merchant. Let me just make this clear first of all. The circle you see at the bottom over there, like you can see that one blue circle over there that's constantly chasing positions. That is where you're gonna supposedly land if you use it. So for this one, you need to really like try to get it in a position where the circle is not visible to you, like here for example, and then you should be able to use it properly, as you can see, because the circle went inside the hospital. So yeah, positioning for this one, I would say it's a bit in front of this tree stump, but if you really want like a viable thing to base yourself on, I would say this box over here. The bottom box is a really good checkpoint. You can be like, oh yeah, but between the tree and the box, pointed towards the window, you can get that really strong catapult positioning. So yeah, I think that's everything that I know for this map. You could also place a catapult over here, but I do not recommend it though, because as you can see, it's blocked off like almost immediately, and you can't even place it over there. You can't even place it when you're close, so I do not recommend placing a catapult up here, just because you can see the trajectory is not that well here. Okay, the next map I will show you all is a Lakeside. I think, in my opinion, this is one of Toy Merchant's strongest maps. So if you like playing Toy Merchant and this map comes up in your quick match, I really recommend playing her. Let's start simple first though. This is one of her simplest catapults you can do. You can really choose from where you want to land. As you can see, the circle is placed. You can see it. You can really choose where you want to land. So let's just, for this part, to take the normal landing. As you can see, you can just land normally on top of this and use the big boat to your advantage. Because big boat is really strong for Annie. Annie is so strong on this one. Well, the next one I want to show you is another one. First of all, let me show you something. A lot of people will probably think that this is a strong catapult. It could seem like a strong one for Annie, but in a sense, it is not that strong in my opinion for survivors. Because for example, if you play against a reptilian, then you have a problem, and that problem is that he can just jump and catch the distance up. That's why I really do like another one that is more viable, and that is something like this. Okay, you guys, I was finally able to get the correct positioning on the catapult, and it is like this. It is towards this direction in on this area. Let me show you where it lands. It lands right onto this side. This is a really strong catapult to use, in this sense of you can still come back to big boat. And for example, I don't have the thing on right now, but like for example, you jump over here and you have knee-jerk reflex as a survivor. That way you can just vault this and get all the speed boost back onto big boat, because the hunter will probably presume that you are going to go in this direction. But you still have to pay attention to what the hunter does. That is the most important thing, because the hunter could just fall into this hole over here and just try to block you off from going back on big boat. So you have to be very careful where the hunter goes. But in general, it is a really good catapult. The next one I want to show you all is, it's not one of the best, but it still works. For example, if you spawn in the middle, you're able to place this one immediately. So it's right in front of this chair, just at this angle, like you can see. It's like right across from this, a bit more slanted from this fence, and the trajectory that you go towards is this. You go onto the small boat. It isn't the strongest one, but it is one that you can use. Another one I just found is this one over here. So you kind of just place it here, like you see where I placed it. It's like by the window, but a bit more off of it, like here. Like, look straight at this one broken piece of wood over here, if you can see what I mean, above my head, the one above my head. Look straight towards that and place your catapult, and this is the result you get. It takes you all the way over here. This is really strong because it gives you the opportunity to transition to that area over there, like this area over here, as you can see, like this one. Or you can stay here if this area is not used, and it makes the hunter either choose to break the catapult or vault the window. And if they vault the window, you could also just go back via here and use this area over here, and then when, for example, your knee-jerk reflex is back up, you can vault this again and come back here and jump this again, because he didn't break the catapult. So yeah, I think that's every catapult spot I know on this map. If there's any more that y'all know, please let me know in the comments, and I will add them in a future video. Well, let's go to the next map. Okay, next map is the Moonlit River Park, and for this one, I want to try to start with a harder one. This is going to be very hard to get right immediately, but I am going to try either way. So I think it's supposed to be like something like this, and then you do this and you fly. You go to the window and you get in. Let me try this again, give me a moment. Okay, the next one for you guys, it's really hard. Trust me, it's really hard. The placement is really annoying, so I really recommend setting this one up beforehand. And this is a really hard one to do, so make sure you have enough time to set it up. So what you need to do is try to get as close to this window as possible without not being able to place the catapult. And then, this is the hard part. You are going to try to... This is only viable for Annie, by the way. Catapult cannot be used by anyone that's not Annie. So what you want to do is jump, pull out the parachute, go to this window, and when you're next to the window, close your parachutes, and you get inside. It's a really crazy catapult that you could do, and I figured it out like 1 year ago that you could do it, and thank you for whoever did that for me, because like, this is crazy. I've never used it actually in a match, but I'll try to do it to see if it's actually really viable, because it seems like it is. So here's the catapult positioning, just so you know. Let me show you again. It's like this. Let me see if I can set it up again so y'all can precisely see what I mean. So wait, where? As you can see, I couldn't place it there. You gotta be really accurate with this. So I place it somewhere like this, I think. Yeah, somewhere like this. And then I jump, 1, 2, catapult, and then when I'm at the window, I close it, and that's how I get inside. So yeah, on to the next one. The next one I want to show y'all is a bit more easy to do. So for this one, you want to stand on top of this slide on the left side of the map. And what you want to do is like stand in a circle, like at the edge of the circle in the middle, as you can see where my feet are as Annie. And you want to make sure the circle aligns with the platform, with the second platform. So then when you catapult, you land right here. And this is a really viable one for Annie, because then you could do this and use your wings to get to Funhouse. Wings, I mean glider, that's what I meant. You could also do this in the other direction. I have seen that that's possible, so let me try that real quick. Maybe this will work? Okay. Okay, yes it does, it does, it does. This one works. Okay, for the one on this side, a quick little check mark you can use is this white little piece next to the catapult. Like I'm standing on it right now. This little white piece, you can use that as like an indicator for where you should be to place this one. For the next one, there are a few options that you can choose to do. For example, you could do a catapult in this direction. This is a good one for endgame, if by chance the exit gate is open. But you could also do another one. Let me show y'all real quick. You could also, presumably, I think, place one towards the platform. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Yes. And that way you could also use this window as Annie to fly over here. Yeah, it's also... I would recommend the other one if it's going to be of usage for other people. But for example, if you're in Kite, it could be a good one to place. Well, for example, the hunter is breaking that pallet over here. The next one I have is another Annie-specific catapult. And that is this one. You can use this, and then you can fly over Circus all the way over here. As you can see, and you could even go into Circus and kite here. But I would not recommend it because the hunter will probably go through Circus to catch up with you. So I would just recommend going through the back of Circus. So yeah, let me think. I think that it's presumably the last one? Question? Oh no, there's another one. Let me show you. This is another Annie-specific catapult. And what you want to do is place it right here. And just place it right in front of you. Then jump and fly. And you can fly right over the rails onto the platform. Because this platform is a really annoying area to kite against. And there's another one I would like to show you, and that is this one. This is a simple one. This can be used by everyone, and that is just jumping over and making sure that you can get there. But if you do this one, I recommend if you do this one, make sure that if it's positioned already and you come from this area, that you drop this pallet. That way, if the hunter tries to go around like here, try to force the hunter to like come around here by waiting by this pallet for a few seconds, by this one. And then when you see that the hunter is going around, you can do this and fly over. That way you have a lot of distance on the hunter and you can immediately go to this kiting area and use it effectively. So yeah, I think that's every single catapult I know on this map. If you know another one, let me know in the comments. Okay, the next map I want to show you guys some more catapults on is Red Church. And let's start with one of the best ones in my opinion, and that is this one. It's kind of hard to position it though, because it's been a while since I've tried this one. Okay, I was able to set it up, so let me show you real quick. This is a positioning. I recommend just trying to stand in front of this little arch here from this angle, and then let me show you how to position it real quick. Then you grab it and you look for when the circle is not visible anymore. Like you can see the circle over there, then it goes away and it's back. It goes away and it's back. So try to get it where you can't see it, like here. And this is the result you get. You're able to immediately go to shack, and the hunter has to vault the window, and you can get the shack, and possibly if you have knee jerk, you can get to that hiding area over there. This one. This is a really good hiding area to use in my opinion. Okay, the next one I have is another one that you can use to get into the church instead of out of the church, like I showed you in the other one. This one is right beside this like gravestone and pumpkin, as you can see. Let me show you how to set it up real quick. You angle the lines in between these two tombstones. You have this tombstone right here, and you have this one right here. You line them up between them, and you try to find. You can see this. You can slightly see the circle if you look behind the first tombstone right here. But if I move it to the side a bit more, you don't see the circle anymore. So then you place the catapult, and you can get your way into the church. So that is also a really viable catapult on this map. I found this one as well just now. It's a simple one, but it works in a sense. You place this one right beside this chair if the chair spawns here. If not, you place it like in front of this window. And the way I did it was like this. You can't really see it, but you try to angle the line towards the window. So that way, you can just jump and you can get to God Kite. And God Kite is really good to kite around because it's high walls and you have a pallet and a window to deal with. So this is a really annoying area for the hunter. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. I will make a part 2 on this next week. So if you want to see some more catapult locations on other maps, be sure to tune in for that next video that is coming out. Bye bye now.